morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss about mod functions, which I feel is a very versatile functions. It can be used in various practical aspects, but it is very rarely used. And I feel that a lot of people don't know more about this function. That is the reason. So today we will deep dive into this function called mod, and I will share with you 10, 11 different practical aspects where this mod function can be used. Hopefully this video session is going to be helpful for you all. So let's deep dive into this function. Now, as has been explained here, you will see the syntax for mod function is very simple. Uh, First argument that you have to mention is the number. The number basically is the figure that we are trying to divide by anything, and the second argument is divisor, the number with which we are going to divide it. Okay, so now as far as this syntax goes, it appears to be very simple. Uh, Both these arguments are required. See, I have written here in the note, number required, the number for which you want to find the remainder. And divisor is, this is also second argument is required. It is the number with which we want to divide the number. So let us see some simple example. Say for example, we want to divide 10 by 7. Okay. Now let us come here. See, as division, what we have learned in maths in our elementary classes. Once we will divide 10 by 7, 7 1 just 7, and balance will come 3. So mod will give us this balance. So let us see this example. Mod 10 is the number which we want to divide by 7. Okay, we will close the bracket, and as seen here, we will get 3 as balance. Let us see one more example. Again, mod, let us divide 100 by 23. So balance, so 23 into 4, you will get 92, and balance 8. So this is how mod function work. Now let us take this same example but change the divisor again. Okay, so once we will copy this formula down, once we will change this divisor to 24, we will get 4 as balance, and once we will change this divisor to 25, to 25 into 4, that is 100, we will get the result as 0. So these are the simple examples that we have done. Now to explain where practically we can use mod much more efficiently in our Excel files, let us deep dive into these 10, 11 examples. Okay. Now coming on to the first practical example, uh, which is filter multiples of a specific number. Okay. Now say in this example, we have various numbers that is being provided to us. Roughly we have 100 odd numbers which are given to us, and we want to multiply this number, these numbers given here with a specific number, and we want to find the which all numbers are divisible by that number. Okay, so say for that simple we use mod again divide. Say let us find the multiples of 5, which all numbers are divisible by 5. Okay, so see here we will get balance 338 divided by 5. So till 335 it will get divided and balance 3 will come. Okay, so simple example, let us copy this formula down. Now see wherever uh, we are getting 0, that is an indication this number is divisible by 5. So 265, obviously you know with your max experience it is divisible by 5. Similarly 245 divisible by 5. Similarly 330, which is again divisible by 5. So see we have put on this mod formula here which is given here. Now after this what we can do is simply click on wherever we are getting 0 and filter by specific cells value. So see these all numbers out of those 100 odd numbers given to us are divisible by 5. And now say we want to make this uh, uh, much more much more dynamic here. So what we can do is instead of this 5 we can use this drop down, okay, and use it in our formula. So we have earlier we have used 5 as the divisor. Now we can change our divisor. I have already given a drop down list here from 1 to 10, and I have used specifically G3. Now we will change the reference, or we will make it this fixed and copy this formula till down. Now, so with this simply we can find the numbers which are multiple by 4. Similarly, same filter by a specific value. Okay, so mm, these all numbers are divisible by 4. Simple example. I think it is clear to you. Mm, Say we have a list of numbers given here 1 to 15. We want that we should get the result like 1 to 3, again repetition 1 to 3, again repetition 1 to 3. Now how we can do it? Simply with mod and little bit of alteration in it. So we will take the formula mod of b5. Okay, and now here already I have made this. For this particular example we want to divide by 3, so we will take a reference of this number. Okay, but if you will simply do this mod, we will simply get 120, again 120, but what we want 123, 123 again, like that. Okay, so we will simply make some changes to this. What we will do, b5 is 1, we will minus 1 from that. Okay, so copy this formula. So now what will it become? 0 1 2, then 0 1 2. Now simply if you will add 1 to this in the end, we can get our desired result. So now let us copy this formula. So now you are getting the desired result 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So your formula is simple. Mod of b5 minus 1 into c2, like that. Now if we want to, again we can use this and change this to 4, and simply we will get the repetition of 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, like that. Correct? Hopefully this is clear to you. Second example. Now let's move on to the third example, which is basically extract time from a cell containing date and time. Okay. Now before explaining more to you for abstracting only the time from a cell where date and time is given, as you all might be knowing, in the background, Excel stores date and time as numbers. Now, a particular date is stored as an uh, whole number, whereas time for that particular day is stored as a fraction of a number. Okay. Now, actually, this number, uh, I will come to that part. Now, first, let us see how to abstract only the decimal numbers from a number. Say, for example, here it is mentioned 43939.562528. Now, if we only want to abstract the decimal numbers, what we can do is simply mod this and by 1. Okay. So the result you will get only the decimal number 0.562528. Correct? Now, now see, um as we have just discussed, a decimal number inside Excel background is stored as the date, which is shown here. Integer part is shown as date. Okay. So here, see, what we can do is let us uh, put this particular number. It is actually showing as date. If we change this to decimal or general category, you will see here. See, this particular example I have explained here. So the integer part gives us the date and the decimal part gives us the time. Okay. So let us again change this format of this cell to our same date and time category. Now, as far as we have done in the last example, same thing we will apply here. Mod of this one, and we will get only the time. Now here again, I have already put the cell format into time format. If you will change it to general, it will only show the decimal part. Okay. So, uh, this is what. So hopefully again this example is clear to you. Let us move on to the next example. Now let us move on to the fourth example, which is most recent weekdays. Okay. Uh, now see, for explaining you in a much practical way, I have just opened a recent month, which is current month, March of 2022. Now to get, say for example, we want to know the date for last Thursday. Okay. So most of you would be knowing today functions, which simply what it do is it simply gives you today's date. Okay. And no argument is required in that. Once we will enter 27th March, I am recording this video to 27th March you will get. But we want last Thursday. Okay. So for this, what we can do is from this we can use mod again, mod of today. Okay. And now say for your convenience, what we have done is in Excel by default it takes Sunday as one, Monday as two, and Saturday the weekends. So since we are talking about last Thursday, we will reduce -5 from that. Okay, and in that, since we are talking about next Thursday. Okay, and we will reduce from that mod of today is 5, and again, so we will get 31st March, which is the next Thursday. Clear? Now, similarly, say for example, we want to know last Saturday for a particular month. That also can be done with the help of mod and one another function, which is end of month. Okay. Now see, end of month has basically two arguments where we have to give the start days for a month, and then we have to mention for which month. Say which month means if we want to know the end of current month, we can mention 0. Next month, we can mention 1. Last month, we can mention -1. Okay. So now since we are talking about this particular month, so again we can use today function in this, or we can hard code today's days, which is 27th March. Okay. But for the convenience, we will use now here. See, we want to know the last Saturday for this particular month. So this month we will use 0. Okay. Now again minus mod of again we will use end of month and today, and this particular month, and 7 we have used for Saturday. Okay. So now see, you will see here 26th March is the last Saturday. Okay. Hopefully this example is clear to you. Now, fifth example, let us convert seconds to hours, minute, and second. Let us deep dive into this particular practical aspect. Now here, see, I have taken various numbers which are in seconds. Now say if I want to change this into hours, minutes, and seconds, okay, you might face similar problem where you want to show your timings into hours, minutes, and seconds. For that, we have a simple formula in Excel which is called time. Okay, now time has three arguments: hour, minutes, and second. Now see, here we have been given 38 seconds. Now, see, if we simply see, we know every minute has 60 seconds. So if we divide by 60, we will get 60 minutes and balance 20 seconds. So ideally, as per this problem, we should get 6 minutes and 20 seconds as our result. Now, but here we have to mention these things into these three arguments are required. So what we will do, we will use the integer function and the number would be this. Now, now see if we already know in an hour we have 60 minutes and in a minute we have 60 seconds. So we will divide it by, since our numbers are given in second, we will divide this by 3600. So this part will give us the hours. Then we will take int of this number again, divide this by 60, and then we will take the mod function. Okay, this will give us the balance seconds. Okay, so this and for 60 seconds. Now we will close the time. So see, we are getting this result 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Once we will copy this formula down, so 8650, we are getting 4 hours 24 minutes and 10 seconds. Okay, hope this example was simple and you can get the grasp of it. And this is the formula which we have used, and for last part we have used the mod function. Okay, now let us move on to the sixth example. Say in a sheet or in an area in the sheet we want to restrict entry of decimal numbers. How that can be done? See, simply this can be done by data validation, and I have already put the data validation inside these 4 5 cells. Okay, and just first I will show you. Say for example, we want to enter 15.5 here. Let us enter. Now this error will come. Why this is coming? Mm, see, value doesn't match the destination validation restrictions. Okay. Now, if we will put the integer numbers, it will simply come. Any integer will come. Simply just to show you what data validation I have put. Now see here, simply I have given this mod of this particular cell divided by 1 should be equal to 0. If it is not, so if there, and since we have already seen in our last example, if it is not coming as 0 or if it is not divisible by 1, it indicates that the number entered in that particular cell is in decimals. Okay, so hope these are also clear to you. Okay, now moving on to the seventh example. Say if we have a given data and we want to highlight a particular row, say third row, fifth row, fourth row, like that. Let us see that example in this particular, and so let us see this seventh example where a data is given to us and we want to highlight, say, a particular row. Okay, so for this we have to use conditional formatting. So let us highlight this full area, go to conditional formatting, new rule. Now formula to determine the cell. Okay, here simply we will use the mod formula. and to dynamically get the rows, we are using rows function in it. And again, how many rows we want to get highlight, here again we are using the drop down from here. Now let us use, we want to highlight by yellow color, and once we will see every fourth row is getting highlighted. Okay, so once we will change this drop down to another number, so every fifth row now getting highlighted, every third row now getting highlighted. Hopefully this simple example and uses of mod is clear to you. Now coming on to this eighth example, say we want to repeat certain serial numbers. Now just to explain to you what I want is that, say, see, in this example we have three things which are getting repeated: name, class, rank, name, class, rank, then again name, class, rank, like that. And in this particular example, it is four things. After that, four: name, class, rank, subject, then again name, class, rank, subject. Okay. Uh, now say to get the desired result, basically what we are doing here is, um, so in the first example we want a serial number of 111, again then for next 222, like that. Okay, so basically what we can do is we have to simply use if. Okay, and inside if you will use, we will use mod function. Okay, and to dynamically get the rows numbers, we will use rows of. Now basically, and in this particular example there is a repetition of three: name, class, rank. Okay, so in mod the second argument we will take as 3, and close mod. Now we are saying that this should be 1. Okay, and for if this is the condition, and for what we want in this case, so dynamically we are getting this 1 here, and it will get repeated every 3 times. Okay, so we will copy this formula, only the formula we will copy. So see, here we are getting the desired result. Simply in mod we are using 3. Now same formula we can use here. Only thing is we have to change this to 4, because here the repetition is for 4 rows. Again we can copy this formula down. Okay, clear. Oh, so this was the example for repeating a particular serial number for nth number of times. Now let us move on to our ninth practical uses of mod function. Say for example certain numbers are given to us, odd and even numbers, and we want to add odd numbers and even numbers. For explaining to you in a much better way, what I've done here is I have taken various numbers, and then I have separated these numbers separately. Even numbers from this slot has been, which basically I have given condition formatting also. You will see the even numbers are having blue background. So simply I have given the conditional formatting, and all the odd numbers are with white background. So this, for your convenience and explanation also, I have given these even numbers have been separated here and odd numbers have been separated here, and the sum has been put here. And now to get use of mod, how we can use it? Basically, see, since we want the sum of odd and even numbers in this particular example, so obviously sum, we have to use the sum formula. We'll use if and mod. Now if mod of what is the reference area, this area, we will freeze this area, and mod second argument we will take as 2 divisible by 2. And for, since in this particular case we have to use the sum of odd, so mod should be 1. Say 3 divided by 2, we will get only 1. This is the if condition, and if this condition is match, what should be our result? This should be our result. Again we will freeze this. Okay, and in this case, if it is not true, we should get blank. Okay, and one more bracket for closing the sum function. Okay, so for odd numbers we are getting the sum as correct, 7319. So for even number we have to simply copy this and change this mod condition of if to 0. Here we will get 6450 as the correct. Hopefully this uses of some mod and if is clear to you. Now for our next example, mm, if we have to count how many odd numbers and even numbers are there, let us take same example uh, where we have to, instead of adding, we have to count. Now since it is the same example, um, but here the formula used would be slightly different. What we can use is, we can use sum product. Now inside sum product we can use mod, the mod of this, and again same condition which we can use for our odd numbers. The mod should be equal to 1, and so mod bracket is closed and sum bracket is closed. So we are getting a sum of 15 of odd numbers. See here, count is 15. Okay, same formula we can copy down and change this mod condition to 0. Here again, since even numbers are also 15, but let us, what we will do, let us change one even number to odd number, so the numbers will change, 16 and 14. So see here, simple uses of sum product and mod. Basically here we are changing uh, the formula and using it as an if also inside the sum condition. So that's why we are getting the result. Okay, hopefully the practical uses of mod inside some product you are able to understand. Now for this 11th example, we are going to use one of the most typical question for this particular set. Now say you have a data and you want to uh, unpivot this data. Unpivot means basically we want all this data. This row should come in a row, then next column should go below that, and like that. In a single column, we want all the data. Now here again, we can use mod function, and basically we can use index and quotient. Both these functions I have explained here. Index we have already discussed earlier, and quotient is basically you have to mention the numerator and denominator. Okay, so now for the practical aspect, we are not going to explain quotient formula here, but okay, hopefully it would be clear to you. Now, basically, if I'm going to explain to you the full formula here, it will take much longer. But just to brief you, now I have selected this range and given the name range as names for the ease of getting our desired result. And here we have used that name range. Then we have used the mod function inside it along with rows for getting the rows numbers from this range. And then we have used the quotient and rows function again. So basically, you will get the desired result, and once you will copy it down, you will get all the data pivoted, unpivoted into single column. Okay. So hopefully all these examples were clear to you all. Thanks. Thanks a lot.